And welcome back in, everybody. Overwatch, Activision Blizzard Overwatch Collegiate Championship. Round 2 action. The Saints took down New Mexico State University in a quite dominant 2-0 victory. In that first series now, though, they're going to be taking on, I believe, the Academy squad of George Mason. Nonetheless, a school we are very familiar with. We played them 2 or 3 times in the last week and a half, funny enough. So now we're going to see what Oasis is going to have in store for this map 1.
Yeah, it's like my 4th time seeing this logo in the last 7 days here. But George Mason, yeah, like you said, pretty sure this is their Academy squad. Squeak. Jump off the map.
Traffic accident.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us, honestly. But with the tank down, however, George Mason should have a pretty easy time grabbing this initial capture on the point. It's only Emerin there, or Crime there. Apologies on that Tracer.
Oh.
He's just going to be providing a lot of resistance. Then Emerin comes in with that railgun, the headshots we've been seeing all day. Squeak's back in. The contest is good. All off the back of that initial Tracer contest there from Crime, just being so slippery on that operator there, on that hero. Now, Emerin just going to be doing Emerin things, charging up that railgun. You know he wants that crispy headshot on somebody there.
Yeah, he's waiting to catch out that Mercy or that Kiriko. And we're going to see a couple, as far as heroes go, we're going to see a little bit of variation between these two squads. Going to see that Genji and that Mercy on the one side for George Mason, along with that Junker Queen. And the Saints, they're going to opt for that ball comp. Squeak has been playing so well on the ball. Red X and Arjung switching back and forth between the Zen, between the Brig. A lot of different supports already out today. Squeak, this is exactly what he wants to do. Get in the front line, basically be a nuisance. There go the mines. They're going to pop up. He finds a double knock up. He finds a kill on the Vortex as well. Fantastic job with the ulti, and Emerin going to help him out there with the railgun. Rai trying to get as much healing on this backline as he can, trying to keep his team alive, but they are getting run down in the spawn as we speak.
Yeah, pops that overclock as well. Emerin's able to find one with it, make it a second to finish off Oaken Shield there on the Junker Queen. Now Emerin sitting here,
still
100% charge is the question. Will it last long enough, though? That's the thing.
I think it just went away as the
Yeah,
ulti
sometimes
dropped,
it does just fall off once you're, I assume
like
it's just when you're out of combat.
Speaking of falling off, Squeak once again off the map. A little bit too ambitious on that ball. I think he might be trying to like drive on the outside of the map. It keeps running into traffic there, but a lot of traffic outside of the spawn here, and it looks like it's a lot of Saints picking up a lot of kills. Both of these supports make it out of the spawn door. Yeah, it's a pretty good pinch. Not a bad play from George Mason. The only thing is, now you staggered that spawn. Emerin, quick little railgun shot toward the spawn there. He's going to connect on that one. And once again, a very similar situation, what we have seen before. George Mason, you got the Rampage, you have the Kitsune, you have the Valkyrie, you have to make something happen. The Saints are going to hit the win button. They're going to try to push this George Mason side back. George Mason are going to have it right now, or it's going to be GG on this round.
Kitsune Rush is going to be popped.
Not
you
enough
see
time.
Genji dashing straight through. Boots and Cats trying to make it there. Rai, will you be the one to make it for this contest?
Didn't make it.
So close, a pixel off there from Rai, but the Valkyrie even getting popped to get that flight coming through, and it just was not enough. Another 100-0 to come through for the Saints, feeling solid. Keep in mind, these two teams the Saints are up against technically seeded higher than the Saints. Saints at 140, I believe NMSU was there at 139, and I believe this George Mason Academy squad is 138, so very close. And of course, you'd expect that these are the seeds that are going to play off against each other in that round 1. But it's just very interesting to see nonetheless. You know, considering the seeding, these are expected to be somewhat close games. Do actually see a quick pause coming through.
Oh, see a couple misclick. Okay, misinput. Yeah, Squeak, you know, happens to the best of us. But right before the round starts here, we're going to see that early Symmetra for the Saints. They like to take that early advantage. This is such a good character, too. Helps you get onto that point so soon. They're going to try to contest this Reinhardt Oaken Shield. Going to be holding down that Reinhardt shield, trying to hold the front wall. We are going to see the Mei from Boots and Cats, though, so actually a good job trying to wall off these Saints, to isolate these picks. Squeak is going to be that first one to fall. Tank going to be down. If you're George Mason, based on the way the last round went, if Squeak dies, you have got to take control at this point.
You have to. You can't allow these players to just sit there and contest for so long. There's the first point going to be opened up. 2 kills come through. You've taken down Arjunka. Huge point of contention there on that Brig. It's been so tough to break through that front line. Crime was able to just chill in the back line for a little bit, but now he's had to kind of regroup with his team there, allow Squeak to come back up. But There you go. You see Arjunk switching off of that Brig because the Lucio Brig did not have the healing to truly support that Junker Queen.
Yeah, he didn't really have that main healer exactly. And Queen not having the biggest HP pool, she can use her shout and get a little bit of health and speed boost. It's not going to be super consistent. No, we're going to see Emran locking up a ton of turrets. He's going to get the TP going too. Crime takes out Rye. Boots and Cats, though, taking down Squeak. Once again, both tanks going to be down in this fight. Vortex and Cats so low, and the DPS are getting down to work. Arjunk takes out Vortex. Emran and Crime are going to round out that team kill. And a very, very strong start from George Mason. Now, though, it's going to be that second and third and fourth fight to try to really swing the rest of this round.
Listen, the Brig pick has been nice and all, but I think that losing that first point, that initial capture, bit of a wake-up call there for the Saints. You see Arjunk switch on to that Baptiste, one of his probably his most played pick, I'd say.
It's a signature pick.
Yeah, a signature pick for sure. And Crime right up close and personal. He does have that Dragon Blade ready as well. He's waiting for a huge flank. There's that boop going to come through.
He doesn't want to waste
it.
He
doesn't want to get it baited out, right? He's going to wait.
Oh,
that Rampage didn't go through. He actually just catches the wall there. The zoning, it's good for a little bit, but now you see Oaken Shield and the boys pushing on to site here. That's the Immortality field down. The blade is going to be popped, but there's a Blizzard all the way on site. Crime, you're going to find yourself slowed down a little too much as he's only able to find one with that. Arjunk close to falling on site here. Close to back to full, actually, but Ron Vortex finally shuts that one down. Should be a recapture.
Yeah, and that was a heavy investment from both sides. I think only one ultimate apiece not getting used there. Squeak runs into the wall, full speeds, bonks his head, doesn't get anything with the Rampage. Oh, Red Hex is going to go for a trip off the map. He looks like he does save himself, though, at that last second. That's that.
I mean, it's Lucio.
The beauty of the Lucio. Hey, we saw a game last week where Lucio got booped 5 or 6 times off the map, I believe, on Lee Jang, so I was open to any possibilities at that point. We are going to see the window come up, but this is why Mei is so strong on this map. You can wall off basically every single entryway for these Saints. You have to rely on playing the backside of that window. Oaken Shield getting those corner fire strikes down. The headshot's going to be found. The Sojourn kept alive, though, will finally fall, but George Mason still trying to hold here.
Yeah, Emran finds that headshot, just not at that 100% charge, but this brawl should go way in the favor of the Saints there. I think Squeak found 2 with the 1 slash of the axe there. Now, you found yourself fairly even in this round. Hopefully, if you're the Saints, you're looking to hold this for just long enough to at least even it out, try to hit that 75 marker, but realistically, you're looking to hold this for the rest of the game. However, peep those ultimates. Overclock and Kitsune Rush ready. Hammer down, ready in a bit, but Emran comes in, finds that first pick, immediately traded out by Ron Vortex. Crime in the back line there. Squeak's going to pop that Rampage as well as a response to that Kitsune Rush, but everyone from the Saints pushed off a site right now.
And I'll tell you why. I think he actually cleansed the Rampage there, so very well timed by Rai. Pops the Kitsune. The Rampage comes through, realizing, okay, we're going to get W keyed on the Kitsune. The Rampage, this is the perfect time to use it. Instantly cleansed the way to shut that one down. However, the trades have still been fairly even across the board, and the whole time, the Saints have gotten this game into overtime. Crime trying to get going in the backline with the Genji. He's going to take his sights on Rai. Now he's going for Oaken Shield, the solo shatter, but Genji is going to be taken out of the fight. The Immortality Lamp coming down a little bit too late there. Oaken Shield all on him. They actually get the cap. The Saints spent so much time in the air, they vacated the point long enough. However, Arjunk takes out Vortex. The Saints are going to be damn close to this beat in this Dragon Blade, and those are 2 ultimates that are very, very hard to fight against.
The beat is
double beat.
Double beat Bob from both sides here. Just a stalemate on the point, but George Mason should be able to take this to 99% before this final tick has to come through, and it's going to be all up to the Saints to try and find this clear. George Mason, you've only got 1 tank on the point. Oaken Shield getting pretty close to half.
1 HP.
Squeak back on the ball, too. Look at the health pool on him right now. And Emran is just out here with this SMG trying to push down this Rhine, but nobody can seem to finish it off. It's going to take Emran in the end. Can Bionic Waffle find that contest? It's not going to come through. The clear comes through from the Saints. A 2-0 in game 1, but a very, very tight round there. George Mason really showing their prowess.
Yeah, that second round was so damn close. They brought that one all the way back from the brink there. It was a fantastic round, and I think, Boots and Cats,
great ult.
the main player, the
one.
Blizzard is, that's why on this map it is so strong. You can look how much of the site you can cover, and then it's free headshots with that deck. Exactly, you use on the corner, because usually teams will play those short corners before they want to push. You play like the short corner, try to get some info, and then you finally make the wide swing. That Blizzard sitting there ready and waiting, clear out the entire team. Unfortunately, you got to win consecutive team fights in Overwatch to get things going. They fought really close at the end there. It got overtime 99-99, but the Saints just found those last 5 frags and cleared out.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, we saw some interesting picks come through from the Saints. Rarely see Crime on the Genji, although we have seen it before.
Nerf
Don't
Genji,
get me wrong. Yeah, better nerf Genji, but no, seriously, I was kind of expecting more impact from the Genji, especially on that first blade, but we saw in the play of the game there, a very well-timed Blizzard basically just shut out Crime from finding any more than one pick, and that allowed George Mason to snowball up to 99%, but it all came down to that last second, and we've seen today Saints so good at timing their respawns, contesting these points, and just making sure they do not give up that elusive 99%.
And hey, that's the beauty of playing the ball comp. Looks like Kings Row actually going to be that next destination. So once again, map 2, I believe it's still loser's choice unless there is some predetermined pool. We are going to be going over to Kings Row. This should be a fantastic game. Once again, looking for Emran to be on that Widowmaker immediately on spawn, trying to find some of those headshots. And the Saints, comfortable on this map. It's been one of the most standard fare maps as far as scrim-wise, game-wise since Overwatch 1, so there will be no lack of familiarity. Maybe we see some adaptations in the hero choice. Emran is going to hover the Junkrat. Also a solid choice playing defense to start. You can just start to shred down that spawn door. Going to see the Hanzo and the Reinhardt. I would expect maybe he sticks to the Widow. Looks like Junkrat. He's going to stick on the Junkrat, though.
Squeak. Having fun with some 360s right now.
Testing the DPI.
Yeah, of course. Got to find a new one. There's that nice Overwatch Collegiate logo there Squeak's got for us, as this is going to be a pretty typical comp coming through from the Saints on that defense. We haven't seen Emran on the Junkrat too much, but then again,
Junkrat gaming.
It's usually the Widow that's going to start on that attack, right? So you can be on that upper balcony, but really no one there from George Mason to start. And Junkrat in this first point is amazing. Like, look at that choke that you can just toss mines into over and over again. And then, of course, you've got Crime on that Hanzo. We saw how much work he was putting in that last game earlier today. Now it's going to be this initial engagement. Boots and Cats not going to go down. Yes, he will. Redx follows that one up. It always seems to be Redx to finish off those kills that seem to squeak away.
Yeah, and they're going to try to stagger a couple of these kills. The counter charge is going to be good. The cleanse is good. Redx on the backline, though, trying to boop the Reinhardt forward, not letting him back into that spawn door. And we are going to see Ron Vortex now picking up the Mei. Mei, super competitive on Kings Row. Boots and Cats now going to be over onto the Cassidy. And we've seen this a lot of times. You lay that mine down at the front door, you wait for either Reinhardt or one of those unsuspecting members to walk in, you trap them up, and you knock them down. There's the trap. You can just see how much damage Emran is getting before they walk up, and then leave it all to Crime to pick up the pieces. Back-to-back headshots, looking for the third here, trying to line that one up. Not going to find it quite yet, but why not make it one with the Storm Arrow, too?
I mean, last time we saw Kings Row today, it was a bit of an Emran show, but sometimes you forget that Crime on this Hanzo is still a sniper, is still looking for those headshots as well. Meanwhile, this game, Emran's been the one to kind of sit back and, you know, toss in the zoning shots. Crime, amazing 2 picks, gonna chunk another good bit off of that timing. The Immortality Field gonna come out from Arjunk as well, save Squeak for the time being. Crime is waiting to pick this shot perfectly.
Headshot with the shatter.
Headshots Boots and Cats with that shatter. Even more CC to come through. A wipe. Crime and Emran being able to find those. Arjunk gonna finish off Rye there as well. Now you've got 3 ults in the back pocket. 2 minutes to stall this one out. Redx close to finding that beat. For Redx, that's like a couple melees because you know he's just gonna be right up close and personal on that Lucio. There's the Riptire!
4-man tire, count them up. Emran with a 4-piece and 5, make it an ace for Emran. A solo team kill. What a play by Emran. All it took was the Dragons and the Riptire, and down goes George Mason. They went down quick, fast, in a hurry. Emeren still chunking away here, and it is elementary for this Saints team at this point. They are so confident. They are so comfortable. The window, the beat, the Kitsune, the Shatter's coming through as well. Red X and Emeren gonna get traded out there. Vortex still trying to get going on the back line with the May here. Oakenshield down to 1 HP, still gonna be alive. George Mason, they are finally showing some resistance. They have finally gathered control of the space.
But they had to burn just about everything to make it here, and all the Saints really did was give them the space. They didn't even find too many
They
picks.
didn't even take the space yet. Oh my
Oakenshield
goodness.
was able to take down Crime, but what does that really mean when you follow yourself and the rest of your team run down by this huge German man with a hammer?
And I feel like getting a headshot with a Shatter is basically like looking at someone laying on the floor and just crushing their head with the hammer.
Like the headshot, yeah.
It's the same, like put his head like a stone
drop
tablet.
down on him from
Yeah,
above.
exactly, like a guillotine almost in a sentence right now, the Saints. George Mason, you gotta try to find some way. You have the beat, you have the Blizzard, you're gonna have the Deadeye, so these are definitely ultimates you can combo to try to gather some space. Squeak, though, he's gonna be playing this short corner, waiting for that fat Shatter. There's the Shatter. He's gonna take down 2. The beat in response, though, and the cleanse. Look at Emeren, so much damage on the back line, and he hasn't even been looked at most of the game. He does have that Riptire now. Emeren has that second Riptire ready to go. Let's see if he can maybe find anything with it. See if he waits for the spawn. 10 seconds. Here comes Emeren's Riptire. He's going to bide his time behind this wall, just waiting to see how the fight shakes out. Oh, and he catches Waffle on the flank. He had eyes on the back of his head. Emeren, check his PC, check his eyes, check his brain, and check the scoreboard because GMU walks away with nothing.
That's interesting, too. I didn't know that I mean, I guess I've never really seen the situation before. I didn't know the Riptire can't kill Junkrat as well. That's an interesting one there, especially you'd think a character like Junkrat, too, would definitely have the possibility to take himself out with his own abilities, considering he's supposed to be this crazy
That was so
explosive
Galaxy
maniac.
Brain. I can't even believe how smart.
It's the threat, right? It's the threat. It's the sound
it was
of
the
that
time.
Riptire.
Just the timing was so good. Lucio walks up behind, ready for the assassination animation. Bop, Riptire over my shoulder, takes him out with the swiftness. And now George Mason, just like we saw last game, and it's going to be a series for this Overwatch team, they simply need to get a tick. Quite simply a touch, not a tick. A morsel, a crumb.
Yeah, I think it was half a tick maximum, maybe.
Max, yeah.
We're going to see exactly once this 30 seconds passes here on the setup phase. We're seeing Rai going to be picking up that Ana here. Bionic Waffle taking the Kiriko this time. We had seen Rai in both that first round and that first map as well over there on Oasis. So a little bit of a switch up in the heroes here. But other than that, Boots and Cats back to the May as well. This is going to be the player to look at.
Crime stretching his legs before he gets ready.
Yeah, some ballet.
Yeah, a little bit of some balance stretches. Crime, though, we know how deadly he. It's like the rose with the thorns, the beauty in the destruction. He's gonna try to find this headshot. He's gonna miss that first shot. Maybe get to see the swap off here. Actually, and honestly, the way the team is feeling, Crime is gonna go headhunting here, and the rest of these Saints, they're gonna try to work that bottom line. Emeren over on that Sombra. Oh, Hardjunk and Squeak gonna link up for a pair there, and they're gonna wall themselves off essentially, and the Saints are gonna take the game.
The game.
That is all she wrote. And Oakenshield goes flying for good measure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, especially on Kings Row, right? Because we see on Kings Row so often, once you find that first point, teams will almost always take it to the end, right?
This is what I was here for.
Yeah, this is what I'm here to look at. Let's see this
Emeren
POV. See, I saw him here before.
Oh my goodness, the cheeky.
I can't believe he didn't get checked. And then, of course, jumps back in, tosses out that detonation as well, and he's able to pick up all 5 players there. Highlight of the weekend, and we haven't even seen our Sunday broadcast just yet.
I know, and that's the thing, like, having played enough solo queue, you know that exact moment when it happens in game, you go, like, whenever you hear that voice line, you immediately go, where is the tire? Where is Junk? If he's 2 feet behind you, you just have no time to react. And I mean, that one play where he took out Waffle on Lucio too was just like, eyes on the back of my head, buddy. I'm waiting for someone to come flank me this time. Finds that kill, and just a beautiful game overall from the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, played out perfectly from the whole team all together. We saw Crime
every member,
with some
honestly.
Amazing picks on Hanzo there on the defensive rounds, and George Mason
Squeak gets a headshot shatter.
George Mason really only found their stride in like round 2 of capture point there on Oasis, where they had a really, really tight round. But other than that, Saints show all the way here. 2-0. That's going to be 2-0 on the day as well to kick off this this collegiate championship here for Overwatch.
Yeah, guessing it's going to be one of those like next Saturday type of deals, assuming how the bracket's going to go. Not sure, exactly offhand, but that'll be their only 2 games for today. They will happily take double 2-0s in that fashion. I mean, besides, that one control point, it was basically 100-0s across the board. Like, they pretty much skunked every single team they played today. But the competition, as we've seen last semester, this collegiate, you're going to get to that top 32, that top 16 eventually. You're going to get to a lot of these very, very tough teams. The competition will continue to ratchet up. So they're playing very good Overwatch now. Going to be a good sign moving forward. So they got to take that with them next week.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to say it was from some questionable seeds, but these first rounds to come through.
You play who's in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. You play who is on that other lobby. So, yeah, I believe we're either going to see more games tomorrow or next Saturday. I'm not 100% sure, but for the stream, what I am 100% sure is that we will be seeing some kind of CCA open action and possibly even some Valorant to follow that up. That one's still unconfirmed, but definitely stay tuned on all of those Saints social medias there. Saints Gaming CA there on Twitter. That's going to be a huge one. Also, check out No Man's Land 15. That one just got announced. That's going to be coming to the Nexus March 11th and 12th. Got 6 open tournaments, a Collegiate Rocket League Invitational. We've got Daniil here from the broadcast helping us out with observing. Even going to be running his own Tekken tournament there. Huge guy. You've probably seen him around the Nexus playing Tekken if you're there, but don't want to waste your time anymore. That's going to be it for today. 2-0 on the day for the Saints after round 2 is all said and done. I'm Josh Profundi, joined once again by Daniel Jobin. Anything you got to say to the beautiful people today before we head out?
No, happily take those double 2-0s. And with that being said, enjoy your Saturday. Take care. Love each other. Have a good one.